welcome everyone.
Yes.
So my name is Tony. Contrary to what it says down here, my name is not Taylor. It is Tony, but I'm stealing Taylor's Zoom account. Welcome, and today we're going to be doing a weekly onboarding training. So this is week 3, and so the purpose of these is, as I said before, prior to the recording, we have multiple ways of training. We have actually I'm going to share my screen right away so you can see. We do have a lot of ways of support and training for all of our users. So if you'll take a look here on the bottom right, there is a question mark in a circle, support. If you press this button, you have how can we help? This is our support article. And so if I want to learn pretty much anything about MyRepairApp, there's a step-by-step guide on virtually everything. So if I want to know about inventory or the new groups, I can do this. If I want to learn more about the employee dashboard or any, inventory, I mean, everything is here. So if I click on even, let's say employee shift scheduling, just for the heck of it, it's all, so first it'll reference our YouTube videos, which is the other way how we train, but we also have step-by-step instructionals. So again, you can learn about us here. And so we have step-by-step instructionals. If you have questions, you can contact us here. So can your staff. And we prefer this over email because it actually creates a support ticket in our system that we can track, that you can track, and across all of your locations. So whether you have one location or you have 50, if your employees are submitting tickets to our engineering team or support team, you will see everything and you'll see all the communications. And so you just click on view details. You see this one has comments already. So very easy way to get in touch with us, as well as check out our YouTube channel. We have video tutorials on everything. This is probably where you're watching this video if you're watching it recorded. But in addition, this we do live on Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, because we want to give people a chance to have questions. If they have questions, to answer them. And for, some people just want to watch live. And so what we do with these differently is we'll do an onboarding session. So we'll kind of do a general, just, hey, here's how you use the system to kind of get your feet wet. But obviously, we can't show you every single button on the app. That would take a few hours. It is a pretty robust system. But what we want to do is show you it's not overwhelming. It's very easy to get started. And so what Taylor will do on a weekly basis, we'll just show you what are the things you need to do to get going, how to use it. What I want to do today, though, before we get to the onboarding, is cover 2 key features in addition to the onboarding, which are going to be our employee dashboard and the automated commission calculator. And Taylor, if you don't mind, if you can open up my Facebook page to see if there are any comments or anything like that, or in the user group, then just let me know if there's comments. And then when you switch over, I'll let you know as well.
You're reading my mind.
So what we'll do, so this is the home page. So again, also you can just change the size however you like. I actually kind of like to zoom out a little bit. I like to see a lot. Right here you see dashboard, see overview, time clock, etc., etc. We are going to be focusing on employee as well as admin. So I'm going to open up both of these, and I'm going to start with employee. So this is the employee dashboard, and I'm going to filter. Just keep in mind, this is a fake account. I don't really do a lot of fake transactions anymore, so I have to kind of play with the filter, nor do I clock in and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to be able to track attendance. However, a really cool part about our employee dashboard is we actually track your employees' attendance, which is really cool. If you use the MyRepairApp shifts feature, which is right here on the home page, you can see shifts. And we do have a YouTube video on how that works. It'll actually track attendance and attendance percentage points. So the idea of the employee dashboard is very simple. This is how you're going to track your employees' performance, but also how they're going to track their performance, and they're going to track their pay. So you'll see here my information, my contact info. You're going to see when I started, when's the last day. I get fired in 3 years, hopefully no. All the stores I'm a part of, my roles there, and then my month-to-date commission. So if I'm an employee, and this updates in live time, I will show you that in just a second how it works. On the right-hand side, this is where owners or managers would upload HR documentation, right? Hiring documentation, disciplinary forms, performance reviews. This is just a way to keep everything organized, as well as for your employees to review as well, for their reference and for your reference. If I click here, we will start seeing more metrics. So these are what we believe are some core values, or core metrics for your employees. You have sales goals, accessory goals, repair goals, device sales, attendance, and then we even break it down by percentage points and further. For the owner or manager, if you're an admin, you can see the profits on each of these categories. And then if you want to see the individual sales, it'll break it down as well. What I want to focus on is a few things, which is you can hit this pencil button, you can edit all the goals. So right now, right, 3,200, let's say we're going to go up to 5,500. We're no longer reaching that goal. So it's really easy, right? We also have these tooltips right here. So if you hover over them, it'll tell you exactly what it is. And you will see these little tooltips. It's a circle with an eye in it all throughout the app. It is a brief explanation of what that is. So we just really want to make it easy for you to understand how all this works, as well as your employees, right? The thing is, we don't want your employees to bother you with questions about MyRepairApp. We want them to be empowered and to be educated. And then also, if they have questions, they can contact us, not you. So what's really cool about that, you can edit also, you can create a what we call a red, yellow, green system. So based on the percentage points, right? So if I put 24% minimum, for them to hit a minimum of a 24% attachment rate to hit yellow, anything below 24 is red. So if I change this, it's still yellow. If I go to 26%, they are now failing, and so on and so forth. And you can do that with everything. So you can edit the quantities, you can edit the goals for sales. My envisionment for all of you is this is going to solve an age-old problem we've all had. When you hire somebody, when you interview them, when you hire them, and when you're performing in reviews, or whether they're quarterly or semi-annual or annual, you can go over this with them, even when they're being interviewed, especially when they're being onboarded and when they're in their, let's say, 90-day probationary period, is, hey, I'm going to set these goals for you. These goals are set based off of my performance and the rest of the team's performance. I know what is, because you would know what you want them to achieve, what is achievable based on what you do and what your other employees do. So you can say, hey, I'm setting a goal for you, let's say $5,500, whatever, arbitrary number, or you set the real goal. Once you hit these at the end of the 90-day period, right? If this is all green, if every one of these categories lights up green, you automatically get a raise. Until it's green, you don't get a raise. It's very simple. What's really great about that, and obviously you can phrase it how you want to phrase it, but the idea is it's an easy way for the employees to see, what do I need to do what do I need to achieve to get to the next level? How do I earn more money in this company? It's very simple. Do these things. Most companies are like, oh yeah, if you do a good job, we'll give you a raise. Like, well, what's a good job? So this is to get them to be very aware and very, it's an easy way for them to see how they're performing, and hey, how do I get to the next level? How do I get to $16 an hour, $17 an hour, $18 an hour? And the cool thing is, right, you tie these goals. Notice these goals are tied to overall profitability of the business, right? That's really what it is. Like, the more profit they produce you, the more you can pay them, because you're going to make more. So for them to get to the point where they earn $1 more, you're making more. So it's not really taking money out of your pocket. It's they're adding to that piggy bank, and then you're just giving them a piece of that piggy bank. So it's a really easy way, a way for them to track their goals that you set before them. And so what I want to show you is the month-to-date commission, is how that works. So what I'll do is I'll make a quick transaction, show you how that updates, and then I'll show you how to set up the commission calculator, and we'll turn it on to the onboarding. So I'm going to just do a quick sale. I'm not even going to add a customer. This is the fake transaction. If you're selling something, please track the information, but that's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and just sell a screen protector from Axiom Armor. Shout out Mark Pauly. He better be watching this. If he doesn't text me today, that means he doesn't watch my videos like he promised he does. All right. So I'm going to say I sold 6 of these, right? They paid cash. Also, I could finance it, but I'm not going to because it's weird. But by the way, we have the only integration with the SEMA. Anyhow, I'm going to close the ticket. I'm going to bypass all that because this is the fake transaction. Okay, so we're at 272.17. I'm going to refresh this page. Oh, wait, hold on. That took a second. All right, we'll give it a second. We're going to come back to that. I'm going to show you how to set up the commission calculator. It might take like a few moments for that to update. Commission calculator. From the home page, you click on admin dashboard, we'll go to commission. This is very, very easy to set up. We do have a video, but I think this will just replace that video. So commission calculator is very, very nice. Number one, you can see in the right-hand side, you can export this. So you can export it for your reference, your employee's reference, your CPA, your accountant. Here you can filter by all your employees or by one employee at a time. And then you can have your, what we call rules. These would be what you're paying them on. So you're paying them on maybe my protection, maybe you're paying them on screen protector sales, HDMI repair, etc. The world's your oyster, right? You can choose to pay commission on whatever you want to pay. So for instance, right, charge port cleanings, prepaid plans, phone plans, screen protection sales. So right now I don't actually you see that's just uploaded. So if I go back and refresh, it should just, yeah, it'll just take a second here, but it's going to be here. So for instance, I'm going to go back to, oh, hang on. You know what? I'm sorry. Hang on. It's the, I just realized why I'm looking. I didn't filter to the right date. That's why it's not showing. The system is working. I promise it's not broken. Watch. There we go. Okay. I was like, why is it not? I saw in the URL, it showed 603, not 605. I'm like, I did not update the date. So there we go. It works, right? So it was at 272. All of a sudden my commission is there, but I only got $2 for 6 screen protectors. That is because here I set it up to a tiered model. So I'll show you, right? So I have it set. This is confusing at first, but not really. These are the tiers. You have a minimum quantity. You can, so minimum sale, right? So if I want to have them hit, if I want them to sell, this you can do it basically a percentage or a unit base. I prefer percentage, but you can do a flat rate. So this is like minimum, you have to hit minimum 10% or 20% attachment rate. So what I have here is at a 1% attachment rate, you get 1%. If you sell 20% attachment rate, you get 5%. If you sell 30%, I'm going to pay you 7%. If you sell 40%, I'll pay you 10%. If you pay, right, so right here, like minimum quantity would be the minimum value right here. This 1% here is going to be the value right here. So if I want them to pay, let's say my employee is going to sell at a 60% attachment rate, what I would do is I would put 60 here, and I want to pay them 15% profit, I'm going to put 15 here. That's how that works. So for let's say they hit an 80% rate, and I'm like, you know what? I'll pay you 20% of the profit if you hit 80%. I'm going to do that. Hit add, and now, oh, I didn't hit percentage rate. But yeah, so I put quantity. I'm sorry, attachment rate. Here we go. I'm sorry. That's my bad. So we're going to delete that, add that. So there we go. So now it's attachment rate percentage, or you can pay on quantity. I don't prefer quantity. That's a personal thing, but you can, if you want to pay on units sold, you can. I prefer quantity or attachment rate because that just makes more sense. I think it'll show the value of how well they're selling rather than, you know, yeah, you can sell a lot of quantity, but that's because you had a lot of customers. But how many customers are you not selling to? That's why I feel percentage is better, but that's just a personal preference. We have both the options for your choice. So now I have that set. So if I were to edit it, I can always edit it here. So that's it. You just set it up for the tiered commission structures. That's what I have here. And so I'm paid on that. So if I click over here, these actions, these 3 dots here, the reason why I got paid so little on those screen protectors is because I'm being paid only 5% because I'm not doing very well. Had my attachment rate been 80%, I would be earning 20% commission. So that is why here I only made a couple of bucks. So you can tell your employees, hey, right here, you're only at 5%. Because you're below 30% attachment rate. So when you show them here, right, hey, your attachment rate is 26%. That is why you're only here, because you're below 30. So if you get this up to here, which you can show Billy, right? Billy, your top star employee, is at 85% attachment rate. That's why Billy is making 20% for, right? So that's just how that works. And you can show, so as I get better, my commission will go up. And so it's very, very easy. So I'll show you how to make this so it's not too overwhelming. I'm actually going to delete this stuff. So let's just go ahead and delete this so we're going to get rid of some of this confusion. So I'm going to add a new commission rule. So let's say you don't have anything, you're starting from scratch. You're going to hit new commission rule. And I want to pay on, you know what we're just going to do? Let's do a screen refurb, whatever. Because let's say you do this. So now you're gonna, whatever you want to name that repair that you would do, and then you're gonna select, actually, you know what, just for the purpose of this, I'm gonna do we'll do screen refurb category. So it's a repair, right? And then at this point you can do a type. So are you paying on phone refurb? Cool, you can do that. Now if you have a SKU for refurb, right? So let's say you have a SKU that's named you know, iPhone refurb, whatever. So whatever your SKU is labeled as, you put it here. And then, so now it said you can use this for commission entry. So I'm going to click on commission entry, and I would go and I would select screen refurb. I don't do any, I don't have that SKU. So it's going to say NA, right? That's all it is. So you just set the commission rule, then you put in the commission. So I'm going to select my employee. All right, so there's 0 because I didn't have an employee. So I selected the employee. Done. If you want a tiered, if you want to set up tiers right here, you would just select it. But obviously, for that, I'm not going to do it. But if you want to set it up, you just push this button here. And that explains how to set it up. So for instance, let's say I did charge port cleanings. It's 0. But if I go back a few months, I'm pretty sure I've done some in the system. Hang on. I did not save it. That's my problem. I got to hit save. So now I went back. I got 20 of those. So I may be bouncing around a little bit. I apologize. You have the base calculation. This is amount. This is based off the gross. If you want to pay them off the profit, again, all your own personal opinion, I would pay off profits personally. In my system, I don't have a cost, so it's all 100% profit. So then if you want to do that, you can do, let's say I want to pay them 25%. Right, 25, choose percentage, or I can do a flat rate, $25 per, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pay them 25% of the profit. There you go. So it shows here from February 1st to June 30th, this employee did 20 charge port cleanings for a profit of $800. I'm going to pay them 25%. That's their commission. So if I go and I hit refresh, but I got to go back to that date. I'm going back to here. Refresh my commission calculator in my employee dashboard. Oh, I screwed up. Yeah, could I see? So it's only 144 because I removed the commissions. So this is all lifetime. So I just proved that for a fact. So what you're going to do here is you're going to click on this again, and you can see all. So actually which ticket those charge port cleanings were done on, how many, the price, any discounts, any costs. It's very, very easy for you to track, hey, are my employees offering discounts or not? You're paying them appropriately, right? Because if they discount something, you don't want to pay them potentially on that. This helps keep them accountable. You export this. So if you do it yourself, you can review it. If your CPA does it, they can review it. It's just an easy way. It's virtually automatic to track and make sure your employees are producing the profit you want them to produce. And then if you want, let's say you have multiple locations, right here, you're going to click on this button. It's a copy commission to all your employees, and you can just set up everything for one, and then all your employees get that set up so you can copy it. And I actually want to go back to the rules of this. So one thing is when you're setting up the commissions, you can do SKUs, you can go by manufacturer, and you can go by name. If you want to keep it simple and not overcomplicate your life, if you want to do something generic like this, just 10% on accessory sales, just select category accessory and any type. Or if you want to do, let's say you pay 10% on all screen protectors, you don't care what type of screen protector it is, even though maybe you have different brands, set it up like that. You don't need to put anything in SKUs. You don't need to put anything in manufacturer. You don't need to put in name. You can just keep it simple like that. So the system allows you to get really nitty gritty if you have multiple brands that maybe have different margins, or you can just go flat rate across everything. So that's how that would work. It's pretty straightforward. And so we get from, yeah, so I think that covers that. I'm just double checking. That covers everything. And again, if you want to delete commissions like this, I'm going to delete it because I don't use it anymore. You can just delete that. But yeah, that's as simple as that. And you can just switch to between employees, or let's say I'm going to pay, again, multiple commissions, right? So for this employee, I'm just going to select employee number 1. And I'm going to go ahead and say, we're going to pay you 10% on gross profits, right? And then 10%, a $10 bonus on HDMI repair and my protection phone plans. So I'm going to, let's say, go for the month. Obviously not a whole lot because it's a fake account, but it'll update right automatically. And then I can click on this. And again, I can see the sales. I can see the ticket it's attached to. Export to CSV, export all of this to your accountant. This, once you set it up, setting it up, as you saw, didn't take long, several minutes. That's, you know, if you have a lot of different commission structures, maybe 10, 15 minutes. After that, this is all automated. So you set up for all your employees, and as time goes on, your employees are going to see their commissions, and they're going to see how much money they're making, and it's going to save your accounting time. So how much time you spend on payroll, it's going to dramatically reduce it. It's going to give you the, I'm going to show you again, it's going to give you the most amount of transparency into your accounting. So meaning, I click on this, right? It's going to show me which tickets, did they discount it? Am I making the profit I'm thinking I'm making? And you can see which employee is maybe costing you too much money. But it's all about just having access to the data, simplifies it, and then your employees can see how they're performing. They can see how much they're making, or maybe how much is being left on the table. This will incentivize them, and this allows you to do so without micromanaging, right? You're not just like lording over them, and just it's just much easier. And I can tell you this much: we have so many users that are using this, and the amount of time and money they've saved on payroll, like we could charge $300 a month for MyRepairApp, and they'd be like, whatever, I save way more than that. I'm not saying we're going to do that, but I'm just saying the value though is tremendous. Just this one feature is tremendous. So I wanted to make sure you guys see it. And yeah, so I'm leaving it at that, and I'm gonna let Taylor go into the onboarding. So for as far as if you're watching this on YouTube, that commences the employee dashboard as well as the commission calculator.
All right, perfect. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to go through basically creating a ticket, managing tickets. I know on some of the other trainings that I definitely went over that as well. But this is going to be for definitely for our new users, and really just I'll show you the process of that. So as you can see my screen here, this is the main dashboard. You have a clock in, clock out feature. You can manage your team members' times, see when they're working, and you can even put in their shifts in here too as well. You can see time requested time off. The employees can do it, and if it's the same schedule, you're just pretty much rolling week after week. You can go in here and just copy the schedule from last week. Just make your life easy. So I'm going to get back into creating a ticket. So when I go here and I click on check-ins, what will happen? Sorry, I've got a bunch of but on here you can see if you're doing a quick sale, we're going to sale, you have repair and trade in. So, and if you're doing those buybacks, this is where you can process your buybacks through. So I'm going to click on repair. And this is the screen where you're going to basically create a ticket. This is super user friendly. It's pretty straightforward. And we do have training videos as well that I send out to every new user. That's the onboarding, which we'll go through this as well. But yeah, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to new customer. This is an area here where you can fill out the customer information. Now we have here where you can search by name, pardon me, name, phone number, or email address. So I'm going to put in myself. Once you can see once I put in my information, names are popping up. Now on here we have an area for store credit. These are going to be with our voice. Now this is a demo. We do have a couple of people that are utilizing it at the moment. Beta testing is the word I was looking for here. And the voice is coming out very shortly as well too. This area here is for notes. This is going to be on the notes on the customer's profile. So you can see here, I have an important note. That's why there's the exclamation point that's there. Now, I have another area for notes. Now, this button for notes is going to be the notes that are attached directly to the ticket itself. So now that I have the customer's information, there's only 3 things that we need to do when it comes to creating a ticket. One is going to be, what is the device information? So what is the device we are fixing? What is the service we're providing to that device? And then what is the part that we are attaching to that service, essentially? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to do iPhone 11. Now I have it disabled at the moment, but you can set up forms. So you could set up a form to have the customer sign off. When you create this ticket, you can have the customer sign off on terms and services, whatever you want the customer work to be completed. And then when you close it out, you'll see it will pop up when I close the ticket out and we take payment at the end of this. You'll see that you can have the customer sign off as well.
On that note,
yeah.
Just in case someone wants to see that in action, because it's disabled for the account right now, is like all things on our YouTube channel. We do have a dedicated video That's actually the customer facing display, but it's something also called smart displays, which allows you to not only display the terms and conditions and the customer to sign, but it also is used as a digital marketing tool. So you can put pictures and videos there. So if a ticket's not displaying, it'll actually have your advertisements. And even when the ticket displays, it only takes up half the iPad, so they'll see their information, but then the other half is still an advertisement. So you can advertise my protection plans, you can advertise screen protectors, whatever you want. It's actually applicable not just on tablets, but even computers. But anyway, just our TVs. So just check a look. If you want to see it in action, check out our YouTube page. Again, it's just MyRepairApp. So YouTube, MyRepairApp, all one word. And I think if you signed up with us, Taylor sends you an email with our link. So just check it out if you want to see it.
Yes, perfect. Thanks. So on here, this is where you could set up that form to have the customers, basically to have your employee make sure that they don't forget to check anything on that device before taking it in. Now, you have an area here for serial number, for password. Just a cool feature here. There's an area here for password. For the pattern password. Can you have a standalone tablet at the front counter? So we have a question from Jonas. Can you have a standalone tablet at the front counter for customers to sign? Yes, correct. So hopefully that answers your question there. Now, outside of the iPhone 11, we're going to go to the service that we're providing. So we're going to go to iPhone. And you could see here, this came up on one of my meetings today. Once I type in iPhone, you're going to see the other iPhones popping up. So I'm going to get more specific. I'm going to go to iPhone 11. So you could see here, it's popping up iPhone 11. And then I'm going to go to screen repair. So now that I have the service, I would, I very much encourage you to put your pricing into the point of sale system. But I did this intentionally. And really, I do it intentionally because I do want to just show you how simple and easy it is just to edit your pricing. All I had to do is click that pencil. And if I go here, you're going to be able to see, the pricing here. Now that I have, now that I have the screen repair. Okay, thanks, Tony, for jumping in on that question there. Now that we have the screen repair, I'm going to attach the part. So I click these three buttons, and you can also do a discount here, but I'm going to click part. Now, you can use the barcode scanner to scan the part because the system is web-based. You can use this on any device, from a desktop. I'm on a laptop right now, but even on a tablet. A lot of the people using the system, so you can actually use the camera on that tablet to scan the part, or we can just go in here and type it in. So now that I have the iPhone 11, I have the LCD, and that's it. That's it, really, when it comes to creating a ticket. There are a couple features here. I'm just going to take just a couple minutes just to talk about the other features here, just to point them out. But yeah, that's really it. I could go to save ticket. So really, in hindsight, this really should be taking you well under a minute to create tickets. I know if you're a first-time user, it's a bit of a different system. It might take you a little bit longer, but really, being the user, the UI is so easy here. I think it won't take you long to do that. So use Square Register, your software overridden. Tony, I'll let you answer that question there to Jonas. On here, I have an area for appointments. On here, this is if you're using storage bins, like I know a lot of you are, then you can go in here and just add the storage bin. Waiting for parts. This is going to automatically, if I leave it clicked, it automatically goes into the waiting for parts category on the ticket board, which you'll see here in just a second once I do that. So, on here, when it comes to shipping, you could see, you can attach who's shipping you. So let's say it's FedEx shipping you those parts. You can attach the tracking number and then track it directly from the ticket itself. So if you're ordering from, let's say, the great guys at Mobile Centrics or Phone LCD Parts, you don't have to go into that account and figure out what part goes with what ticket. So the other thing here is that you can also take cash, card, clearly. You can take payments. So anytime, even though we haven't created the ticket yet, I can take a deposit. So I'm going to, let's say, take $50 for deposit. Now, there are obviously many ways that you can take. Thanks, Tony, for answering that question there to Jonas. On here, we have other. So this is customizable. We added these in, but you can really add in whatever way. Like you're getting paid by PayPal or Cash App, or if you're taking Bitcoin, really you can attach whatever way you're taking funds into your business. This is where you can account for it properly. So we have an Acima integration. I know Tony touched base on that. We do a training. We did one this week, our first one with a rep from Acima, who comes on and assist in making sure that you're getting the approvals, getting more approvals. And then he gives tips and tricks as well. And I do believe we do plan on doing that again next Tuesday as also. On here, we have an area for notes. So I'm going to click on this. You can do notes internally here. If you want to display those notes, you can click on here, display on invoice. And this is where you can attach pictures as well to the notes. Pardon me. But on here, we do integrate with PrintNode, and you can print up labels, receipts, and invoices. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save this ticket. This area here, we do have text messaging and email functionality. This is where you could send a link to your customer, where your customer can track the repair themselves. So you don't have to worry about them keep calling you and asking what's going on with their device. Essentially, I like to compare it to the Domino's pizza tracker. When you order pizza online, you can track your pizza. Essentially, you're just going to be tracking your device. And it will show if there's any money owed as well too. So I am not going to text that to myself or her email. And essentially now you can see that it is pulling up the ticket board. This is a demo account and I have a bunch of tabs open, so it is a little bit slower than what it would normally be for all of our users here. And it looks like Tony did respond back to you there, Jonas. Now in the comments there, on here, this ticket board is fully customizable, as in like you can create new lists. So waiting for customers and this B2B column, these are custom. We added them in here ourselves. And yeah, essentially, if I left that box waiting for parts, this is the category that it would automatically go under. Now, this is the ticket here. You don't have to have all of these items on the ticket. You can control if you go into settings, and you can control what it says. If I go to settings, I go to ticket preferences, and I go to ticket board. I can go in and turn off or turn on, different things on the ticket. This is my personal preference. I like to show that you can add a ticket number and your date created, and definitely balance owing and what the device the person's name is. So this is really a drag and drop. You can put this into any category. If we put this into repair, you can see it. You have the option to do an SMS. You can send an automated text message or email letting the customer know that their device is now being repaired. Now, if I go over here, let's say the device is ready to be picked up. So with texting, this question actually came up multiple times today. With our system, there is a very tiny charge of less than a penny per text message But that's really it. So I don't know. I'd start with like maybe $5 or $10. That should last you, a month or 2 months. So just depending,
Yeah,
obviously,
let
on
me
how many
touch base on
texts
that
you
just for a
send
second
out.
too. That is not
Sure.
us charging money for that. That is just so that this
Yes.
is for the one-way automated SMS. That is through an integration with Twilio. So basically the way it works is again, we have a video for it, but when you transfer a ticket from one status to another, it'll ask if you want that customer to get a text. That being said, in the very, very short future here, in the very near future, we will have a two-way SMS and voice that will have additional charge. But as far as the one-way SMS, yeah, I mean, Twilio charges next to nothing. Just want to make sure that everyone's aware that's not us collecting money on that. It's just that's what it charges for the automated messages there.
Perfect. Thank you for jumping in. That's definitely helpful. Thank you. So on here, now the device is ready for pickup. Let's say the customers come into the store now. At any point on any ticket, if I click on it, it's going to open up the ticket. So if I click on this, so like if you need to add in anything into the ticket, you can just click on it at any time. You can go in here and add, just like we did earlier. So now the person's in the store. I cannot close the ticket out until I get this payment here. So I'm gonna take the rest of the payment. And essentially, pardon me, now I'm at $0. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to close the ticket. This is definitely a highlight here when it comes to sending out text messages or emails for a lot of stores. So one is that you can send out the receipt, but the highlight here is that you can attach. And Tony, I'm going to have a question here for you in just a second, but you can attach your Google My Business link to get reviews. So you can attach your GMB to this. So essentially, when that person is in the store, you can be like, "Hey, I just sent you a text. Do you mind just giving me a quick 5 stars?" Before that person even leaves the store. That is going to help you. First of all, that's going to help you get more reviews. More reviews helps you build your SEO. By building your SEO, which is search engine optimization, helps you show organically. And really, you want to have your store in the top 3 when somebody looks up, cell phone repair near me. And that is really, like, SEO is such a great investment into your business. Now, my question here, Tony, is, because this came up today, are there any restrictions with putting your GMB link in the text message?
Not that I know of. I haven't seen any.
Okay.
And I want to address this too. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned it because everyone has an opinion, and some are right, some are wrong. But the reason why we did it this way is, and we will add, and like in the very near future, once we launch the protection plans and all this stuff, we will be adding like a separate automated review requester, right? So it'll text them X time later or email them, ask for a review. However, the reason why we didn't prioritize that now, and we're doing it later, is because that is way less effective than you asking for a review at the time of checking out. If you ask a customer while you're checking them out and they had a great experience and they just left you a $6 tip, and you asked them, "Hey, we're so happy that you came here. We were able to serve you, able to help you. Thank you so much for your business. We also offer XYZ, right? We don't just do phone repair, even though the name of our business is phone repair. We do tablet, computer, gaming console, etc., etc." And then usually that results in them going, "Oh, snap, I actually have a PS5 at home that my son broke." That's besides the point. At that point, though, is when it's perfect to ask, "Hey, it would mean the world to us if you would leave us a review." As you know, we're a small business and we don't have a great marketing budget for a bunch of ads, and a referral or a good review would mean the world to me and my family. If you don't mind, could you leave us a review? It'll take 30 seconds. You do this, I would be surprised if you didn't get 3 to 5 reviews a week. I would be surprised. We have many, I know so many people that get 1+ review a day simply by asking. An automated message down the road works, but it's not nearly as effective as you saying, "Hey, I just sent you a link. I just sent you our Google link. If you don't mind, leave us a quick review." And they'll do it right then and there. I promise you, it is way more effective. Way more effective. Either way, the additional automated down the road, even in addition to this coming, personally, I think this is the most effective thing. factually, statistically, it is the most effective. So that's why we do this. I just want to lay that out there. It's very, very effective. And like Taylor said, the more you have, the better you rank locally, the more money you make. So if you're looking for ways of getting more business in the door and maybe you're a little slow, every single person, I don't care if they walked in and asked for, if they can use their restroom, or if they asked for, hey, where's the restaurant that used to be next door? Treat them right, give them a great experience. Say, hey, would you mind? We're a small business, especially if you're new. We're a small business. Like, if you could leave me a 5-star review, this would mean the world to me. But when you do something for someone else, they're way more likely to want to do something for you. So even if you offer someone the smallest advice or tip, they're far more likely to leave you a 5-star review if they enjoyed being in your presence.
Yeah, makes sense. Well said. And I agree with you, Jonas, as well, on your comment there. So I'm going to jump back into this here. This screen is what I was referring to. This pop-up screen is what I was referring to when we started creating the ticket about having the customer sign off. So we just have a couple little things here. Essentially, this is fully customizable, and all of our forms, you can see there's already forms in there that are already done that you can go in and see, somebody who's got 16 stores, right? And see what they're using in the forms there. And then you can really just copy and paste it and then tailor it to what you want. This will help you alleviate any of those guys or girls trying to take you for a ride here. And I know a lot of store owners really like having that there.
I'm of the minority.
Essentially, that is, what's that?
I'm of the minority. We've done over 12,000 repairs. We've never asked for one signature, but I'm of the minority.
Okay.
But to be fair, maybe we just got lucky.
Once you get burnt, no, I don't want you to get burnt.
All it takes is one. It all comes crumbling.
Right.
So, Taylor, just real quick.
If you want to see closed tickets, you just hover over closed tickets.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm actually gonna mute myself because I have to hop onto another one, but I'll just let you continue. So just want to let you know that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna. I figured I'm gonna try and be finished up here in about 9 minutes. I'm gonna try, if not sooner. So if I want to see closed tickets, I go to tickets, I go to closed tickets, and then it pulls this up. So you could search. And you can also search up your tickets here as well. But you can search by, you can see customer name, email address, ticket number, serial number. You can just go here and search it. So let's say if it's a return, you're just this is the ticket we just did. You just click on it, return warranty. That's gonna reopen the ticket again. So let me see what else here. Yeah, so that's really it when it comes to creating the tickets there. Inventory management, this came up in one of my calls today, and I'll just highlight a little bit more just because I do have a couple minutes here. So if I click on inventory, this is where you're going to be able to keep track of your parts, your accessories, your devices, even your tools. So adding, let's say, parts into the system, we've really made this simple here for you. And it's always a highlight. You'll see we get a lot of positive comments in the Facebook groups in regards to this because we've pretty much automated the entire process. So when I click on this, we've broken this now down into categories. So instead of for our users, who've been using this for a while, we used to have a massive list of everything. I definitely think that this is much easier and appeasing. So we've titled our categories Apple or apples, and you can see what's in stock, what's not in stock. Now, if you want to add items into the system, there's a few ways to do this. One is you can go in here, you can just start scanning items into the system. The other way to do that, you can click new item, and you can also scan in from the screen, but you can manually input whatever you want to put in here. You can see it obviously creates a SKU too, and it's a big but, I have a way easier way to do this. And this is really a highlight for a lot of store owners. So if I click on here and I go to purchase orders, this is where you're going to see our integration. So you can see purchase order history. We have integrations here. So you could see we're integrated with the top 4 companies, and we have 2 more coming. One is, you can see here, Injured Gadget, Mobile Centrics, Phone LCD parts, Wholesale Gadget parts. We also have, I'm hoping that we also have Mobile Enzo and iFixit. So on here, let's say you're ordering from Mobile Centrics. All you have to do, and it's the same for all of these companies, all you do is just click the button. You log in to your account just as you normally do. What you're going to see is, this is going to bring me into our Mobile Centrics account, and you can see up here, and literally just place your order just as you normally do. You're not going to change anything when it comes to this. Now, when your order arrives, you're obviously going to check, make sure you got what you ordered as you would normally do. And all you have to do is just come in here and hit reconcile, and your parts or whatever you've ordered is automatically going to go into the point of sale system. And then when you do a sale or repair, and it automatically goes in with the cost as well. And when you do a sale or repair, it automatically comes out. This is how we are just going to make your life so easy. You are going to have the ability to track everything. You're going to know if your employees are stealing from you very quickly, because now you're going to have complete control of what you have in stock. And if I click on these metrics here, this is where you're going to get the breakdown. This is where you're going to get the breakdown of exactly what you have. So let me pull this up here. This is the metric center. I am somebody, if I want to know how much, like, let's say for instance, if I go to inventory, well, first of all, you could see the breakdown. You could filter this for whatever timeline you want. You can see how much sales, repairs, inventory, what your employees are doing. You can see your top 10 repairs, top 10 sales. You can see how customers are finding you. So for the people today who I was talking to who are running Google Ads, right? Like, this is the area here where you can start getting accountability on those Google Ads accounts. And you can see how it's performing. One is you can see how people are finding you. But if I go into, and I'll talk, actually, you know what? Since I'm talking about Google Ads, I'll go into repairs. So let's say you're running one of those ads for tablet repairs, right? You're going to be able to see on the timeline and compare okay, I was running $100 a day ad spend. Well, now you could see the revenue going up, and you'll be able to see the breakdown if it's tablet repair, gaming repairs, whatever it may be. This is where you can start seeing the breakdown of it. On inventory, if I go here, this is where you're going to have that accountability. Now, I am somebody who, if I want to know how much I have invested in phone parts or tablet parts, game parts, wherever it is, wherever my investment is, I don't want to have to go into an Excel spreadsheet and try and figure it out. You can see just at a click of a button, you have everything like right then and there. Aging inventory, this is an area here that I really do think that there's many things that pay, in my opinion, obviously it's biased, but in my opinion, pay for itself, this system over and over again. And like, as you know, we're not charging an arm and a leg for this. This is an extremely affordable system, and much more affordable than the majority of systems out there. But this aging inventory here, this is where you can track exactly how long your items have been sitting on the shelf for. So really, as you all know, everything that you have in your store pretty much is depreciating in value. We need to move that off the shelf, and we don't want to keep things on the shelf for too long, right? Like, you can see here, okay, I've got this phone here that I paid $900 for. It's been here for 3 months. Like, let's give a commission to one of the staff and encourage that team member, use a commission calculator, encourage that team member to push this 15 Pro Max off of the shelf and get some money back into your pocket and on the books. So yeah, this is the breakdown here. I know Tony talked about the employees there, so I'll just click on the sales here, and this breaks down your sales as well. You can see your accessory attachment rate, and yeah. So that is a few things here. I know we're getting close to the time. So if there's any questions, I have been trying to keep an eye on this on the live here and the questions. I know Tony's been answering some of the questions, but if there's any more questions, just let me know. And yeah, if you see your support button has a little bubble like that, click on it. It means we've responded to you. And yeah, Oh, one more thing, price calculator. This was a highlight today for somebody I was talking to. And yeah, you don't have to go in and create a ticket. You can just, if you get a phone call, you can just look up your price calculator right here so quickly, and just makes it a lot more streamlined for everybody. So that is our third training now. And yeah, you know, I think Tony is on another call, so I am going to conclude. And yeah, I hope you all have a good day. And yeah, let me know if you need anything. I appreciate all of you and working with you. Thank you.